The chief guest has arrived. Maybe all rise. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you. I am Dr. Rashmi Ann, Assistant Medical Superintendent, and I will take you through the initial proceedings of the conclave. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, eminent speakers, panelists, healthcare leaders, HR professionals, academicians, clinicians, delegates, and dear colleagues, it is truly a privilege to welcome you all to the first HR Conclave 2026 hosted by Rajagiri Hospital in association with CAHO. In today's rapidly evolving healthcare landscapes, people remain our greatest strength. With this belief at the core, the theme of this conclave, Empowering Talent, Elevating Patient Care, reflects our collective commitment to nurturing human potential while enhancing patient outcomes. This conclave brings together thought leaders and practitioners to deliberate on talent attraction and retention, psychological well-being of caregivers, legal and regulatory frameworks, artificial intelligence in HR, crisis preparedness, and the power of the human mind. We are confident that today's dialogues will inspire learning, reflection, and meaningful action. On this note, I invite you all again to the inauguration ceremony of HR Conclave 2026. Before we start, let us all rise and look to the Almighty in prayer. May I invite Ms. Melissa Mariam George, Executive Assistant to the Executive Director, to lead us in prayer.
We pray for blessings, we pray for peace, comfort for family, protection while we sleep. We pray for healing, for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering, and all the while you hear each spoken need, yet love us way too much to give us lesser things. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights? So what it takes to know you're near? What if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? We pray for wisdom, your voice to hear, and we cry in anger when we cannot feel you near. We doubt your goodness, we doubt your love, as if every promise from your word is not enough. And all the while you hear each desperate plea, and long that we'd have faith to believe. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights? So what it takes to know you're near? What if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise?
Thank you, Melissa. I humbly invite Father Johnson Varapalli CMI, our beloved Executive Director and CEO, to welcome the dignitaries and the August gathering.
Justice Devan Ramachandran, Honorable Judge, High Court of Kerala, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, President, CAHO, dear delegates, and my dear colleagues. It is so exciting to, see almost 150 plus delegates representing more than 80 hospitals, spending a day here, reflecting, adding on more, sharing insights, and going back to our organizations with much more vigor and energy. And as you know, this is a program jointly organized by CAHO and Rajagiri Hospital. Some of you, or most of you, must be knowing that this hospital started some 12 years back. And today, we are a Center for Quality Promotion of CAHO. And that is the background in which CAHO and Rajagiri joined together in organizing this HR Conclave. And today, for this inaugural function, we have a very, very, very special guest to inaugurate this day. I like to give a very short brief about Justice Devan Ramachandran. Sir's father was a barrister, and Justice Devan became a well-reputed lawyer at a young age. He was the standing counsel in the Kerala High Court for almost all nationalized banks, CBSE, and that list, many, many institutions are there in that list. Considering his legal acumen, High Court designated him a senior advocate in High Court of Kerala relatively at a younger age. And thereafter, in the year 2016, Judge of Kerala High Court. Sir is the most popular judge when we read his orders in the newspaper. He is the most ethical, principled, and fair-minded judge. Justice conscious, down to earth, and his doors are always open for the poor and helpless. Talk of the town is that Ernakulam has at least to this level of not having water logging during monsoon because of Justice Devan Ramachandran. Roads are repaired and maintained again because of Justice Devan Ramachandran and his interventions. No flex board. Again, credit goes to Justice Devan. And we all CMI priests have a special pride when we think of Justice Devan because he is an alumni of Sacred Heart College of Tevara, a CMI institution. I am very, very happy to welcome Justice Devan Ramachandran to this inaugural function, and I invite Father Jijo Kadavan to present a bouquet to Sir. We have another important dignitary today on the dais, Dr. Vijay Agarwal. This organization and me personally owe so much to Dr. Vijay. As you know that Dr. Vijay is the president of Consortium of Accredited Healthcare Organization, which is a platform primarily for maintaining quality and patient safety in healthcare. By profession, Dr. Vijay is a pediatrician and practiced medicine, I think almost 50 years, 50 years. And Sir is well associated with the mega campaign for pulse polio vaccination in India, which later became a very, very critical intervention that reduced polio in India. But in the last maybe almost 10 years, Dr. Vijay is completely involved in the cause of, or for the cause of patient safety and quality care. I have heard him saying on several occasions that he wanted to give back to the society. You know, President of CAHO, though it's a very, very large organization, having almost 1,000 institutions enrolled under that umbrella, it is a completely charitable voluntary service that Sir is giving for this cause of patient safety. I have always watched him very close. A lot of things to learn from him. A man with absolute humility, with thorough knowledge on what all things he speaks. You know, great qualities which we all can learn from him. Recently he made a TED talk, again on patient safety. It's available in the YouTube. Sir, extremely excited that you are here today in Rajagiri, and I request our medical director, Dr. Jiji Kuritugulam, to present the bouquet. On the stage, I have 2-3 of my colleagues. Father Jijo Kadavan, our HR director. In fact, you know, he is the one who is actually organizing this program. And we have Dr. Jiji, our medical director. We call him, you know, the AI man of Rajagiri. So Dr. Jiji, then Dhanya, who is heading our quality department. Welcome to all of you, you know, though we are all, you know, from the same family. When I look at the audience, I see a lot of names that I should specifically mention, but I think that might, you know, put me in trouble. And but still, you know, I feel like mentioning some names. Otherwise, you know, there will be a great omission from my side. We have Advocate Benny, a senior advocate, you know, from, you know, Kerala High Court. I mean, he even, I think, goes to Supreme Court also. A learned and very sought after legal counsel in HR and, you know, labor. So Benny is there, and we have Devan sir. Already you listened to his talk. Then we have Father Saju, already finished his topic, you know, session. Dr. Anna, old Rajagirian, then Elizabeth. Then I can keep on, telling a lot of names. I'm not getting into that effort. I am so excited that these many people traveled from far and wide outside Kerala and reached here and contributing, not just listening, classes. You all, contribute for this knowledge sharing process. In the name of all, all the Rajagiri and CAHO, I extend a very, very warm welcome to all who are present, all delegates, all faculty, and my own colleagues in assembly here, a very warm welcome. So with this, I conclude. Let us have a very fruitful day today. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. We begin this conclave with the lighting of the lamp, a timeless symbol of wisdom, enlightenment, and the guiding light that HR professionals bring to their organizations. May I now request the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. May I specially request Dr. Anna George, Head Quality, Aster India, and Secretary Quality Professionals Divisions, CAHO, and Dr. Devanand Kolatori, Co-founder and Executive Director of Next NT and Chair, CAHO, Telangana Region, to join the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. Requesting everybody to rise as we light the lamp. Thank you so much, everyone. Since Father has already introduced Justice Sir quite a bit, I would still want to add a few words to it. Born in Kochi, Kerala, Justice Devan Ramachandran has distinguished himself as one of India's most progressive and humanistic jurists. As a judge of the Kerala High Court, Justice Ramachandran is renowned for his empathetic and accessible judicial philosophy. His landmark judgments spanning constitutional rights, environmental protection, prisoner welfare, and administrative law reflect a deep commitment to individual liberty, human dignity, and social justice. He seamlessly blends legal rigor with compassion, contextualizing the law within broader social realities and make it meaningful to ordinary citizens. His progressive interpretation of constitutional values, grounded in established legal principles, has made significant contributions to Indian jurisprudence and earned him recognition as a champion of practical wisdom and humanitarian justice. Humbly inviting Justice Deva Ramachandran Sir for the keynote address.
What is your name? Good morning. I was hearing Father Johnson, I was twitching. What fabulous things he was saying about me. Pinching myself, turning around to see whether he was referring to me or somebody else. I never knew that a Reverend Father could lie so convincingly. But then he can also say the truth because I heard him speak about Dr. Agarwal. He deserves all the encomiums. I think a couple of weeks ago or more, Mr. Joseph, is he here?
Joseph, sir, yeah.
Father told me that you will always be in the backside, so you will always be in the background. So he came to my chambers and invited me for this function. It was immediately followed up by my dearest friend, Benny Pitama, Senior Counsel. I took up the invitation straight away because I've never before seen this hospital. Though I've traveled in front of it, I've seen the gate, the imposing structures. I didn't have the requirement to come in at any point of time. I thought it is better to come as a guest than as a patient. So I took that opportunity immediately. I walked in today to see almost a miracle. This is a magnificent kind of an institution. It didn't come to me as a hospital at all. And then I walked into this hall. I asked Father, I said, is this really a hospital? I mean, this is like a cinema theater. It looks so beautiful. It's so imposing. And that, I think, is what makes this hospital what it is today. Father Joy, I think he would be the most harassed person because of me, because I call him every now and then to refer patients. I think I would even call him dead of the night, early mornings, afternoons, whenever something comes to me. And it is always taken care of. Every patient I have ever referred have come back to me talking about the presence of God, the divinity that we all look forward in any medical institution. Walked into this imposing structure today, went into the chapel, made me so calm and composed, gave me that kind of peace that you require desperately in the midst of so much of agony. Because take it from me, you are all professionals. Take it from me. Nobody walks into a hospital unless there is an absolute requirement. I say this in many of my outings. I say, in many ways, lawyers are also like doctors. We also take care of the clients who come to us. They also walk to us with agony. And believe me, nobody walks into a lawyer's office unless it is absolutely necessary. Nobody would dare do that. It would be your greatest prayer that you live your life without having to see a lawyer, a policeman, go to a court. But then you can't do that with respect to hospitals and doctors. Anyone who is born on this earth, till the time you spend your last moment here, you certainly will require assistance, one way or the other, very often from a friend, doctor, hospital, clinic, whatever. It is always necessary. My voice is not very baritone as it sounds today because I'm running a viral fever. So I was advised to take voice rest by Dr. Madhukumar, who is my very close friend also. But as lawyers are, as Benny will tell you, we never take a good advice and we don't listen to people. But then even if I did, I would have come for this function for sure. Even if I were lying down, I was asked to be on bed rest, I would have come here on a stretcher. Because I wanted to see this hospital and I wanted to see the majesty that everybody talks about. Now, as professionals in healthcare, please understand, every component of an institution like this is revered by people, by the patients and the bystanders, as either the presence of divinity or divinity itself. Every doctor, every healthcare professional, nurse, even the janitors, the cleaning personnel, they have so much of hope. They carry that hope for the ordinary patient. Because when the patient comes to you, he comes to you with a problem that makes him so distressed that there is no pleasure left in him. It could even be a fever, but that moment of that period of fever makes you feel so unhappy and distressed that the touch of a doctor, the smile of a nurse, the calm words of a healthcare professional would make a total change of world for you. There's another thing I think I'll be found wanting if I don't give the credit to the manner in which this hospital has been maintained. I asked Father, they said this has been 12 years. I was completely astounded. I thought it was a brand new hospital, perhaps 3 or 4 years. And that speaks volume for those people who are in charge of the maintenance of this great institution. My commendation goes out to the janitors, to the caregivers, and all those people who probably work in the background, who are generally never named, who are generally never seen, who are generally never commended upon. But they are making this hospital what it is. Because if I had seen this hospital in a different color, maybe with a squalor or with garbage or dirt around, my impressions would have been totally different. So please congratulate those people who are in the background, and let me take that opportunity to lead that thought of gratitude to them. And I'm sure every patient here, every bystander would endorse what I'm saying and affirm my thought also. So coming back to what I was saying, this is not for me, right? Coming back to what I was saying, the nearest avatar of God on earth is always a doctor, nurse, and a healthcare professional. And that makes the responsibility also much higher. As I was saying, as lawyers, when a client comes to you, it is our responsibility, and that's the way we were taught. I'm sure my friend Benny will also tell you the same thing, because he was also reared by the finest of seniors at the bar. Bar does not mean that bar. We call bar is where we practice law. So what is really required of us is to ensure that the person who comes to you for need, he gets that empathy which he is drastically looking for, which is desperately looking for. This is why Dr. Agarwal is now being lauded, because the profession of medicine is the profession of godliness. Here is where you heal. It is not merely that you treat. Any doctor can treat, but only the best can heal. And healing does not require medicine alone. It requires that smile, that touch, that which creates that positivity in a patient's mind, and the body takes over. If you're able to control the cortisol level by giving them hope, to giving them that word of solace, the body will take over, because our body is the finest machine God could have ever thought of. This is where doctors are so very important. But then it is not merely doctors alone. Those people who stand behind and let the institution work, that is much more important. Of all the resources in the world, the most valuable is the human resource. There cannot be any resource which is more valuable than human resource. And human resource is not something that can be defined. It is a very abstract concept. Every one of us are part of that resource. But what drives that resource is the manner in which we think, the manner in which we comport ourselves, and the manner in which we hold out to the others. So this is where the HR department becomes very important. Because man management, and that takes in women management also, of course, I'm being very general neutral. But man management is something that is very difficult, because you really do not know what the other is going through. It's very easy to be judgmental. I see somebody in front of me. For example, I am sitting in the court. I'm on a higher pedestal like this. I believe that I am the biggest person in the world because I'm sitting as a judge with all the power given to me by the Constitution. And then it's very easy for me to make a judgment. The person in front of me, maybe he has had a bad time, he's had a bad day, or he's had a bereavement, he's had a problem, his son is not keeping well, his wife is not well, father may have had a problem. But I don't know all that. So I create a judgment. I believe that he's not doing well. And then I decide that this person is not worth the cost that he's projecting. This is what we should be very wary about when you deal with man management. Because you really do not know what goes through somebody else's life. And you are nobody to judge a person. I say this in most of my speeches. If there are any one of you who have heard it, I give you an apology, but then I have to say it again. Even as judges, given the responsibility of judging causes, we are told that we cannot judge people. I cannot say that this man is good or the other man is bad. That is left to the God who created us. Our beneficent God decides finally, by the final call, how you have done in life. Are you good? Are you bad? It is His call. But you judge only the actions. So therefore, when it comes to human resources, we have to have a system which cooperates and coalesces in such a manner that the institution or the institutions continue without glitches and without the Achilles heels that you see. And therefore, we have all these legal compliances that are given to us. Rule of law is essentially nothing But in Malayalam, I always say Maryada. It is nothing but the respect that you give to each other. Law is nothing other than the respect you give to another. If you are alone in this world, you don't require a law because you can live the life you want. When you are in this community, when you live in a community as all men are and all women also are, as John Todd, the famous poet, said, no man is an island. So we live in a community, and therefore laws are made to ensure that we live comfortable with each other, that we respect each other. And this is precisely why we have all the legal compliances that are required. But there is a way of looking at the legal compliances. There are people who look at the compliances as being something that is thrust upon them and therefore something that we have to do by compulsion. But the wise men and the wise women would see it in a different angle. Because if you comply with the legal compliances, that becomes a strategic imperative. Because there's a lot of risk mitigation. You are bothered of litigations, fines, penalties. Your reputation rises. There are groups, there are entities in India which we trust implicitly. And those entities, when you look at it very carefully, you will understand that those are those who have complied with these requirements without any wavering. And this is not a matter of choice. This is a matter where it becomes so imperative that you cannot have an alternative. Suppose you say, I may comply and I may not comply. You don't have that kind of a choice. So when it comes to human resources, I'm trying to point out something else actually. I'm only saying that the management of human resources is something which is so important, vitally imperative for an institution that it is generally not taken into with great interest. But I'm glad that institutions like this spend so much of time. You invest so much of your energy in looking at this vital component, which I'm certain is why this institution has garnered this reputation. For example, groups like Tatas, for example, I'm just taking one group, there are several groups. But they are known by the results of their compliances. Because when they do that, for example, judges, we would generally stay in the Taj group of hotels if there is no other accommodation in the government sector. But that is because we have the trust, because we understand that this is a group that plays by the law. And rule of law becomes very important and very strategically imperative for us to follow. So as human resource, I'm not sure if you're all managers. I don't have the full demographic with me. But what is important is that we understand that human mind is very varied. Human minds cannot be put in a straitjacket. I cannot decide that everybody should be like me. I cannot command and say that this is the way I want you to be because I am like that. So there is a lot of gives and turns. There's a lot of play in the joints. I'm sure when the leaders of the industry take over and they are giving you this experience today, it's really going to open up a different vista for you. Keep attending, make understanding, and understand that, and get that feeling of difference. And that should be the takeaway from a conference of this nature. I'm not sure if I should continue. You have been extraordinarily good audience until now. I don't see a yawn. I don't see slippers up. Many things to say, but then I would rather not say that. But I'm glad that I'm here today with the kind of faculty that I see today. I'm sure you're going to have a great, great outing. Lovely to see all of you. Hope to meet you again as a guest only, of course. But then be a choice, be a reason why I'm here as a patient. Please take care of me. And don't take up anything against me because I've spoken to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Simple and yet so profound. I think you've changed the way we're going to look at the judges from now on, from a serious, angry, and an unempathetic image to an intellectual, a witty, and a warm one. Thank you, sir, for changing that image of judges for us from today on. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. My name is not a UHID number by Dr. Jiji Kurutkalam, our medical director, a book that addresses the critical divide between what we deliver and what patients actually experience. Early on, a patient states, "But for me, this is my only life. I am not just this number." This reframes healthcare entirely. What is routine for us is often a singular, vulnerable moment for patients and families. My name is not a UHID number is a timely reminder that while healthcare runs on systems and data, healing happens through human connections. May I now request Justice Devan Ramachandran sir to present the book to Dr. Vijay Agarwal to formally unveil and release the publication.
We've been friends for over 30 years now. It's a great feeling. There's a story in my mind which I did not think of. I wrote about this book.
Lawyers also, that's why you are a case number.
You are a case number. You forget that you are a human being. Very difficult to keep that balance. Nice.
Requesting all the dignitaries to hold up the book for a photograph. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Vijay Agarwal is a distinguished pediatrician who graduated from Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi. Over 4 decades, he has been instrumental in transforming healthcare delivery in India. He played a pivotal role in driving the Pulse Polio program and introducing Delhi's centralized waste management scheme. His leadership spanned key roles including co-chair of NABH Accreditation Committee, director of operations at Max Healthcare, where he established their flagship Saket Hospital, and executive director at Pushpanjali Crossley Hospital. He chaired Karnataka's Healthcare Task Force Technical Committee and contributed to ISRO's Health Quest project for emergency care guidelines. He has received the Distinguished Alumnus Award from Maulana Azad Medical College, IMA Lifetime Achievement Award and Quimpro Platinum Award for Healthcare 2019. Inviting Dr. Vijay Agarwal sir to share the foreword on Dr. Gigi's book and also to take the session on building a high reliability workforce.
So good morning, and first of all, my deepest gratitude to Father Johnson and the entire Rajagiri team. This is my 3rd time to visit this hospital, and every time I feel energized, and I totally echo the words of Justice Ramachandran that what he thought about this hospital looks as if it was just made recently. So wonderful feeling always to be a part of it. And it's indeed a privilege today to be a part of this book release, which has been written by Dr. Gigi Kurutukulam. So, sir, indeed, this book, where the name is My Name is Not an UHID Number, I think the title itself captures a profound truth about the healthcare. And in fact, like what Justice was saying, that in lawyers also, sometimes we feel that it is my case number. So behind that case number is a human being. There is a whole story that is behind it. So in our hospitals today, we are extraordinarily good at measuring things. We track vitals, scores, turnaround times, and outcomes. Yet in the process, there is a quiet risk that the human being behind the wristband, the UHID, the barcode, it may slowly fade into the background. This book is a gentle but very powerful reminder that patients do not experience healthcare as episodes of care or clinical pathways. They experience it as moments of vulnerability, uncertainty, hope, fear, and trust. And they remember not our protocols, but our presence, not our efficiency alone, but our empathy. What I appreciate deeply about Dr. Gigi's writing is that it does not come from theory alone. It comes from lived experience as a clinician, as a leader, and as someone who has observed the emotional ecosystem of a hospital from within. The book moves us beyond patient satisfaction scores and experience surveys to something far more fundamental, the human experience of care for patients, families, and caregivers alike. My name is not an UHID number, is not just a book. It is a call to pause, to reflect, and to reconnect with why most of us chose healthcare as a profession in the first place. I congratulate Sir Dr. Gigi for this thoughtful contribution and hope this book finds its place not just on bookshelves, but in conversations, training rooms, and most importantly, in everyday practice across our hospitals. Importantly, this book also reminds us that human experience and high reliability are not opposites. In fact, truly highly reliable organizations are those where people feel seen, heard, respected, and psychologically safe, because that is when errors reduce, trust improves, and healing truly begins. And that is what also is my talk that I'm going to briefly give to you today, and that is to preparing the workforce for a highly reliable organization. So, what are high reliability organizations? Are organizations that perform consistently well in the high risk environment. And that's what hospitals are. So high risk or high reliability organizations, as we know, I mean, everybody considers whether it is aviation or nuclear power providers, because they perform consistently in the complex and high-risk environments. And they are defined not only by the absence of errors, but by how they anticipate, detect, and respond to the risks. And I think everybody understands that healthcare today is complex, high-risk, and unforgiving of errors. There are a lot of cases that justice will get before him, because more and more number of people are reaching his doors to get some kind of a solution. So we have to understand that technology, protocols, and accreditation can help, but people are the ones which can make the healthcare delivery safe. High reliability is not a technology problem. It is a human and a cultural challenge that we need to build a high reliability organization by not fixing people, but you do it by building systems that help people do the right things every time. So I would like to say there are 5 principles I would like to enumerate which are of high reliability organization. And the first one is preoccupation with failure. Constantly alert to small errors, near misses, and early warning signs is hugely important. I have shown this picture of the dog for a reason, because you can see that how alert this creature can be when something is not right around his environment. And that's the kind of the sensitivity that I think we need to have. And we have to treat any almost failure as an opportunity to learn, not ignore. Near misses are discussed openly before harm occurs. The second thing is the sensitivity to operations. And that is the deep awareness of what is happening on the front line in real time. We see a lot of CEOs who spend most of their time only in their cabins and talking to their subordinates and juniors, but the real knowledge is coming from the people who are there at the front end. So the leaders and teams understand daily workload, staffing stress, and the patient's flow, their problems. So that sensitivity is extremely important to make the organization high reliable. Third is the reluctance to simplify. Anytime you have a problem, you are very easy to fix a responsibility and put on a blame. If there was a medication error, it's very easy to blame the nurse and not go into the underlying cause as to why it happened, what has gone wrong. So you look for systems, causes, and interconnections and interactions. Errors are analyzed as system failures and not personal incompetence. And fourth is the commitment to resilience, means accepts that failures will occur. I have seen a lot of times very senior people shouting when something wrong is being brought to their notice, and will say, "Oh, what are you meant for if you could not handle that?" And that's a signal that they are giving, "Boss, don't bring these problems to me." And if you don't bring these problems to him, who is the in charge, then you are telling him to keep on ignoring it. So focus on early detection, rapid response, and recovery. Teams are trained to manage deterioration, emergencies, and unexpected events effectively. And deference to expertise. Decision-making shifts from person with the most relevant knowledge. Hierarchy does not override safety. Any team member can speak up or stop a process if something feels unsafe. So high reliability is not about perfect people. It is about prepared teams, respectful communication, and systems that support safe behavior every day. When organizations respect expertise, learn from small failures, stay close to the front line, and respond resiliently, safety becomes a habit, not an aspiration. Culture lives in people, not policies. Protocols don't prevent errors, behaviors do. Safety culture is shaped by how staff speak up, how leaders respond to bad news, how teams function under pressure, workforces where culture is enacted every day. So the old model, the healthcare has to shift these models of functioning, where the old model was the individual expertise, heroic firefighting, hierarchy-driven, and blame after failure, to now the team performance, reliable systems, expertise-driven, learning before failure. High reliability is not about having the best individuals, it's about having the best teams. So your workforce needs to move beyond just the clinical skills. It's important to be a good doctor, but you need to be aware about the situation, knowing what's happening right now with your patient. Your surgery may be over, but what is happening to him after 2 hours? I always say that most hospitals work with solar energy. Patients from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., I am sure that, but as a person whosoever has operated, he needs to be aware about what's happening to my patient at 2 a.m. in the midnight, because that's where he is vulnerable. He has to develop a kind of communication skills, especially when things are under stress. Ability to speak up and allow your people under you to bring about whatever is not happening right. A learning mindset, curiosity over defensiveness, and resilience, that individual and organizational, is extremely important. Technical competence gets you hired, but behavioral competence keeps your patient safe. Leaders are the ones which create that conditions, and that's where people like Father Johnson are iconic in our healthcare ecosystem. We are extremely fortunate to have people like him who have been able to create a kind of a nursery. People trained under him are now leading so many other organizations and are again spreading that wave of creating the kind of leaders who should be visible in clinical areas. They will listen actively to the frontline voices, respond to errors with curiosity, not blame, reward speaking up, not just results, and model humility with learning. Leadership in high reliability organizations is less about control and more about connections. And you can't improve what you can't see. So how is it that you will know that your people are going the right path? So you can do a speaking up surveys. You can find out that how many of your people did bring about any aspect of what was not going right in the organization, how many of them. So that kind of a survey needs to be done. Near misreporting rates, how many times people have brought that this is what a mistake could have happened. How many of them have done that? Teamwork climate, response time to escalation, staff engagement and burnout. So besides what right since morning we have been hearing about many parameters like Dr. Devanand talked about, then Father talked about the substance abuse, all of that I think put together, but some more parameters I will say, and one of that is the speaking up. Now some of time the speaking up habit can be taken negatively by a lot of people, but I feel that is a very, very positive and something to be encouraged. And why this matters more for us nowadays, especially in our country, is because of the workforce shortage. We don't have enough people to work for us in the healthcare. And high patient volumes, young workforce with rapid turnovers, and very strong hierarchical mindset that we have, resource constraints. So high reliability is not about expensive systems, and it is about a disciplined teamwork that we need to nurture. So building reliability takes time. High reliability organizations are not built by perfect people. They are built by prepared teams, supported by thoughtful leaders working in systems designed for safety. If we invest in developing our workforce, not just in skills, but in mindset, communication, and trust, reliability will follow. And when reliability becomes culture, patient safety becomes inevitable. And remember, CAHO is your partner in this journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay, for that thought-provoking session. Simply put, comprehensively explained. Thank you so much, sir. I now invite Ms. Dhanya Michael, General Manager, Quality at Rajagiri Hospital, to propose the vote of thanks for the inaugural session of HR Conclave 2026.
It's a very good morning, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks for the inaugural function of this HR Conclave. At the outset, I extend my sincere gratitude to Honorable Justice Devan Ramachandran, High Court of Kerala, for graciously inaugurating this conclave and for spending your valuable time to be with us today. Your presence has added great dignity and significance to this occasion and has set an inspiring tone for the day. Thank you, sir. We are deeply thankful to Dr. Vijay Agarwal, President CAHO, for his insightful special address on building a high reliability workforce. Sir, your perspectives have laid a strong foundation for the sessions and deliberations that will follow. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation to our patron, Father Johnson Varipalli CMI, Executive Director and CEO, whose vision, leadership, and unwavering support made this HR Conclave possible. Thank you, Father. A sincere thanks to Father Jijo Kadavan, CMI, Director HR, the organizing chairperson of this event, for his guidance and leadership, along with the HR department and all supporting departments for their meticulous planning, coordination, and teamwork in ensuring a smooth, successful inaugural function. Thank you all. We also congratulate Dr. Gigi Kudutukulam, Medical Director, on the release of his book titled, My Name is Not a UHID Number, Understanding Human Experience in Healthcare. Thank you, sir, and congratulations. We extend our warm thanks to all delegates who have traveled from different places to be part of this conclave today and joined us. Thank you all. As we conclude the inaugural function, we look forward to the enriching sessions and interactions lined up ahead with our esteemed faculties. Let's continue this HR Conclave with the same spirit of learning, leadership, and excellence. I would like to close this by sharing a thought that sums up our purpose today. Let today's insights inspire us and tomorrow's leadership define us. Thank you all. Wish you all a very engaging and productive conclave ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Danya. This brings us to the close of the inauguration ceremony. Let us all rise for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे
Thank you, dignitaries, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi, for doing the honors of hosting the ceremony with such poise and warmth. I'm Aparna Nair, Assistant Manager HR, Rajagiri Hospital, and it's my privilege in guiding you through the session to come. Requesting all to be seated as we bask in this moment of official inauguration, commencing HR Conclave 2026. We'll be commencing after a short break of 15 minutes. We kindly request all delegates to reassemble promptly and to be seated in the hall by 11:35 a.m. sharp, as we will promptly resume with our technical sessions on time. Tea and refreshments have been arranged at Tower 4 dining area, where a delightful selection of snacks awaits you. We have our volunteers with blue tags to guide you to the venue. For your convenience, washroom facilities are available on both sides of the corridor. We look forward to welcome you back shortly. Thank you. We request everybody to please reassemble back in 15 minutes sharp.
Thank you so
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
It was so nice to meet you.
Hopefully not.